My name is Darren Joseph from HTJ.tax, and we're the team that seeks to demystify the sometimes confusing world of international tax. And today we have the honor and privilege of having another conversation with Mark. Mark, could you introduce yourself?
I'm an advisor to the entire financial industry on TRS, FATCA, and CARF, and I've advised the OECD and the EU Parliament and the EU Commission and the German government, etc. All this is on my website for anybody to look at.
Fantastic. So today we want to focus on UK trusts and UK underlying companies when it comes to wealth management, and especially now when we're spoiled for choice. There's so many jurisdictions all over the world. The question that's being discussed specifically today, however, is do UK non-resident and non-UK trust, two different things, register with the TRS, the Trust Registration Service?
TRS is the beneficial owner register for trust. It's interesting how they've split those two, one for companies and one for trusts. So the TRS was introduced pretty recently in 2017 with the aim of preventing the misuse of trust for illegal purposes. That's why they went FATF route for the TRS. Okay, the TRS is broader than the PSC because it registers settlors, trustees, beneficiaries, protectors. It doesn't matter what percentage assets they're entitled to. And other assets, including money, buildings, company shares, partnerships, yachts, cars, jewelry, art, etc. So they're pretty strict on the TRS for UK trusts. So what about UK non-resident and non-UK trusts? So this is where it gets interesting. They do not register with the TRS. I'm surprised, but c'est la vie. But they only register with the TRS if the trust acquires directly or indirectly via a subsidiary UK land and buildings, real estate in American terms, okay? But then there's an exception unless it's a co-ownership express trust. It's interesting that my website's called Co-Ownership Trust because that was what I was initially pushing. Co-ownership trust is pretty unique. I don't see another country in the world having this. And even UK lawyers attack me for saying that this exists, but it's there a lot. But it was only introduced in 2020 when the UK Brexited. And that is when the trustee and the settler are the same, which is pretty unique. Okay? And they can even be the beneficiary. So it's co-ownership because there has to be two of you. So you owned the property beforehand together, and then you became the trustee, and then you are the beneficiaries in case one of you dies. So there's a lot of planning for that one because it's also not registered anyway. So second reason for a non-UK trust and a non-resident trust for registering on TRS, if it's liable for taxes. So there's 6 types of taxes: income, capital gains, inheritance, stamp duty, reserve tax, that's on shares, stamp duty on land tax, etc. But trusts invariably don't invest direct, so they're not going to be liable for UK taxes. It'll be the underlying company. And then there's one more condition for these non-UK trusts and non-resident trusts to register on the TRS. If at least one of the trustees is UK resident and the trust enters into a relationship, commercial or business or professional, with any of the 15 UK relevant persons. There used to be 13 UK relevant persons, but 2 years ago they updated it for crypto. So to give you an example of what a UK relevant person is, that would be something like banks, credit institutions, auditors, insolvency practitioners, tax advisors, legal professionals, trust company service providers, casinos, and also crypto exchange providers and custodian wallet providers. But again, that hardly impacts me because our trusts don't have bank accounts. There's no notary that sets up the deed. The deed is there. It's the underlying company that interacts with these 15 relevant persons. There are quite a few countries around the world that say you must register if you deal with a bank or your own property, but that's a small subsection of the UK's expansion of what a UK relevant person is.
I think it's also interesting to know that the TRS is not a public register. correct?
Yeah, but the official agent authority, you can get to it easily.
Right, yeah.
Thank you very much again for sharing your incredible insight. What's the best way for someone to find you, to reach out to you, to get in contact?
Our website, co-ownershiptrust.com, and then you'll find 850 articles.